everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is Nayeema and welcome back to my channel. And today we have my April TBR list and also books that I am currently reading. March has been a month of me starting books, reading anywhere from like 30 to 50% and putting them down. Even though they are really good, I just have not had the mental capacity to read full books. You'll see how my reading month went in my March wrap up, but I do have tons of books that I'm in the middle of and that I really want to finish in April. These are really good books and I just want to finish them. So that is basically going to be my April TBR, and I'm just gonna let you guys know books I'm currently reading. My friend Em from 𝓬𝓤𝓬𝓬𝓬 just uploaded this video, so you guys should check it out down below. She inspired this video because I'm like, whoa, I'm reading so many books currently, like I can't even keep track of them. So I thought that would be a good substitute for my April TBR because all of these need to be finished in April. They were so good. That's what today's video is. So without further ado, let's get right into my April TBR / books that I am currently reading. So the first book that I am currently reading is Beautiful Nightmare by 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬, and this is part 2 to her duet. I forgot what the duet is called, but the first one is Dangerous Temptation, and I loved Dangerous Temptation. Like, I was completely hooked, and it was really surprising to me because 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬 is not my favorite author, but for some reason I just devoured this book. And I don't know if it's because like the momentum changed in Beautiful Nightmare, but I got to around 50% of this book and I just completely put it down. And I was really liking it even though it was slower, but I just put it down. Like, I put it down and I need to pick it up again and just finally finish it in April. I'll tell you guys what Dangerous Temptation is about, just so I don't give any spoilers for Beautiful Nightmare. But Dangerous Temptation follows this girl who is 17. It is an age gap romance, number 1, and she is underage. She is technically underage, but the age of consent in somewhere, I don't remember, Las Vegas I think, is 17. So that's what 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 had to say about the whole age gap. But this book follows this girl named Bianca, let's just say struggling. She is not very happy with her life. Her mom has a revolving door of men. She has a younger brother who her mom just doesn't really care about Bianca and the younger brother all too much. She really cares about material things and who she's dating, and if who she's dating has money and can just make their life 10 million times better. And Bianca's mother's most recent suitor is 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬, and 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 is this really rich, mysterious man who has entered Bianca's mother's life pretty instantaneously. Comes over and spends time there a lot, and Bianca is not super into him because he's just mean to her. Like, he is not nice to her at all. And so one day finds that her mother has passed away and she is completely heartbroken and she has nobody to call but 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 because she has no family left. She has no idea who to call, no family friends. She just calls 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬. That's who the first person that she thinks of is. And 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 and Bianca already kind of have this weird tension going on between them. It's super strange, but he decides to help out. 𝓵𝓸𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓬 is keeping some major secrets, some huge secrets that get revealed by the end of the book, and I just love this book so much. It was so taboo and so forbidden. He's basically like their caretaker and she really didn't want him to be, but she just really wanted his help with like funeral arrangements. But now her and her younger brother are living with him and he is not what she expected at all. And the duet picks up where things left off, and I'm 50% of the way through that and I just really want to finish it because it was so good. The next book that I would really like to finish in April and that I'm currently reading is From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. Mariana Zapata has always been an author that I've really loved her books. Like, I've always really enjoyed them, but for some reason I put this one down. Like I said, I really don't have the mental capacity to finish an entire book in March, but I am very excited to continue reading this one. This is one that I only got, like, I want to say 17% into. It wasn't that much. This book is massive, but from what I know and from what I've read, this book follows this girl named Jasmine, and she is an ice skater, and some things have happened in her career that have not been entirely too favorable, and she really feels like her career is over. She's not a part of any duet, and she needs to be a part of a duet to go to the Olympics. And she used to have a duet partner and things with that didn't work out. She has this reputation of being a mean girl who's hard to work with, and she's really just feeling like her career is over, and she's always practiced at the same gym with this Olympic gold medalist. One day she gets a call from like his manager or coach or agent or something, and she is basically offered a job, and that is to be his duet partner and to train really intensely for the next few months in order to be ready for this competition, because he really wants to win. She and him do not get along at all. Like I said, they have trained at the same rink for years and years and years, and they hate each other. They're literally rivals. She can't stand him. She hates coming into the rink and seeing his like name with like the banners of his name and what medal he won and pictures of him. She just does not like him. He is not a nice person to her, and she's not really that nice of a person to her either. But she truly feels like this is her last chance to make a name of herself and to win and to be the best, and so she agrees. And that's really where I left off. I left off right before they started training, and I'm really invested because I have a feeling that this is not going to be, obviously it's Mariana Zapata, so I don't think they're going to end up liking each other any soon, which I hate. If you're gonna hate each other, I need you guys to hate each other for a good bit of time. So I'm very excited to continue with this one. So many of my friends' favorite Mariana Zapata book, so I'm very excited to read it. And I've never really read a book with ice skaters, like figure skating. Is that I'm excited to continue it, to say the least. The next book that I am currently reading and that I would love to finish in April is Falls Boys by Penelope Douglas, and I would really love to finish this in April. So I read only the first book in the Fall Away series by Penelope Douglas, and that one was not my favorite. I think that one was called Bully. And so all I know is that this series with the Falls Boys is basically like a spin-off series, like next generation of that Fall Away series, and it follows the children of the main characters in that series. And this one, so good. Like I really want to finish it in April. It is so good. It follows like a bad girl and a good boy, and they're from opposite sides of town. The girls from the bad side, the boys from the good side. He comes from this really loving family, and the girl, the heroine, not so much. Arrow is the girl, and Arrow is kind of part of like this gang. I don't even know really what it is, but she's a part of this gang, and she has to collect dues from different businesses. She sells drugs, she sells like different like illegal things like stolen phones, I don't know. But one day, and she just turns 18, and her boss is always threatening her like, oh, like if you can't do this anymore, there's other jobs for you, like really gross, like prostitution. And she's like, absolutely not. Like she's just not really in a good healthy mindset and space right now. And so one day she is working, and it is time for her to go and collect money from all these different businesses, and she is leaving one of the businesses. Her boss tells her, don't come back empty-handed. You need to come back with all the money that you've collected. So she's collecting all the money, and two police officers stop her and ask to check her pockets, and she says no, but they force her, and they end up stealing all of the money that she had collected. And Arrow's like, oh no, like I can't go back empty-handed. I need to do something. So she ventures to like the good side of town, and she decides to collect payment from different people that owe her. And one of them is Dylan, and this is the hero's cousin. And I believe Arrow like sold her a phone, and she never got the money for it. So she comes there and tries to get the money for it. Things and chaos ensues. Basically, the hero sees this whole encounter and stops Arrow. And he has never like even seen Arrow before, but she knows who he is because he's the golden boy. He was like the class president. He comes from a good family, his family basically owns the entire town. And he's like, listen, stay on your side. And she ends up stealing his entire wallet and house keys, and just chaos and drama ensues. I just know this is going to be one of my a new favorite book. I'm not very far into it. I would want to say like around 20%. And it was just so good. There's like high stakes, high claims, good people. It's just such a good book. I love the whole bad girl, good guy dynamic, and I'm excited to continue this one, to say the least. And if I end up really enjoying this, I'll probably go back and read the rest of the Fall Away series by Penelope Douglas as well. The next book that I am currently reading and that I would like to finish in April is First Semester by QB Tyler. And this one's actually fairly short. I started it when I was getting my hair done, and I just never picked it up again. But this one is really short. It basically follows this girl, and she is a freshman in college after she took a gap year traveling. And while she was traveling, she met this man and he completely obliterated her heart, and she just needs to move on with her life. It is her first night in her new college town. She makes friends with one of the girls who lives in her building, and they decide to go out and party and have a good time. She's like, F him. She joins this brand new dating app and she meets this guy there, and she decides she wants to have like a little like one night stand with him. And they have amazing chemistry. The smut in here is so good. And then she goes to class the next day and realizes that her little hookup buddy is her new professor. Things are not good. Things are really chaotic. You could definitely tell this book is a little bit older just by the way it's written, but it's really good so far and I really just want to finish it. Pretty short. I believe it's like around 150 pages. So hopefully I can finish this one in April as well. It was a really fun time. And like I said, the smut was really good. The next book that I am currently reading is this book called Filthy by 𝓫𝓸𝓬𝓪𝓵. I want to say I'm a good like 30 or 40% into this book, and I put it down because I gotta be honest, like the writing isn't my favorite. Like the writing is not good. And I will say with this book, like your feminism needs to leave the building. Like this book is degrading. Like it is very degrading. And I was enjoying it, but at this point in the book, I'm just not all the way interested. You have like a very submissive woman, which I don't really mind in romance books, but it's just kind of crazy like this book. Like it's really just like crazy, and that's the only way I can really describe it, I believe. And it's a mafia romance, which is really fun as well. But it is basically this guy, and he was like adopted into this family, and they like to rule over their city or whatever and buy buildings. And one day he has to basically threaten this girl for her building. She owns this bakery, and he has been looking at pictures of her, and he wants her. Like he wants her very badly. What I love about this book is that she is a curvy heroine, which I love to see in my romance books. It's just a really interesting book. I don't even know how to explain it. Like she has no choice but to give over the building to him, and she ends up sleeping with him because he's like, you're gonna sleep with me, and she's like, okay, I guess. She's a virgin. Like, and he just becomes obsessed. He's like, you're mine. It's very apish. It's very just like crazy and not that good, I gotta be honest. Like the smut is pretty good, but the storyline, the plot, not that great. But I do want to finish it because it's interesting. It's an interesting book so far. So that's really all I can say about it. Hopefully you guys hear more about it in my April wrap up, so keep an eye out for that. But that's like, I literally can't explain this book in any other way. Like he's just decides he wants her, and she's like, okay. Like she doesn't really have thoughts. I hate to say it, but she really doesn't. And yeah, I hope to finish it in April. The next book that I am currently reading and I would love to finish in April is The Words by Ashley Jade. And this book is a toxic rock star romance, which you guys know I love my toxic romances. But here's the thing, I don't love rock star romances. So I'm going like this. Like this is toxic romances and this is the rock star romance, and it's just going like this for me in my brain. Like I love the toxicness, but the rock star keeps like, it's a battle in my brain with this book. Like I'm not loving it. But this book has two timelines, the heroine and a hero in high school, and the heroine is severely bullied. She's a bigger woman and she is just bullied. She is not liked by her peers. She's a really good student though, and she gets amazing grades. She's incredibly rich. Her dad is like a big time producer. One day she gets propositioned by her teacher to start tutoring the school's bad boy, and he's a part of this like band, and she loves music. Her name's Lennon, and she loves music, and she's like, okay, like I guess so. And he is so mean to her, like not a nice person. He can very clearly tell that the heroine will do anything for him, and he abuses this power. And he's also incredibly like jealous and doesn't want anybody touching her, but treats her like crap. Like this is a toxic romance, guys, which I usually say I love. It's just like hard. Like I don't love it all that much. Their senior year of high school, and he does something to betray her. He does something horrible and betrays her, and she really wants nothing to do with him. So it is years later, and now this man's band is famous and he is known worldwide. He's struggling like severely. He has an alcohol and drug issue. He's not doing well. He got into some trouble. He's just not in a good place, and his agent basically calls up Lennon, is like, look, I will pay you a good amount of money to basically be his like sober watch person. You basically have to come on tour with us and make sure he doesn't have to get into trouble. And Lennon, the heroine, she hates him. She cannot stand him, but she really needs the money after some family issues. So she decides to do it. And she decides that while she's doing it, she's gonna get some good, well-deserved revenge. And it is just a mess. Like, this book is good, but like, it is crazy. Like, it's too much. Like, toxicness with a rockstar romance and the tour setting, like my brain is exploding, but it's good. And so I want to say more than 50%. So I do want to finish it in April. It's just this book is crazy and so many things are going on here. So I do want to finish this one in April. And the last book, I'm not sure what this book is going to be, but if you didn't know, I have a book club with two of my best friends, Em from Reads Romance and Reagan from Rare Reads. We just started this new book club. And we have not chosen our April pick as of the day that I'm filming this video. But if you guys aren't following Between the Covers on Instagram, you definitely should. I'll have the handle down below in the description. And it should have been picked, the April book, by now, so make sure to check the little highlights on the Instagram story. But yes, that is, I do have another book that I'm planning on reading, and that is for my book club. If you guys want to join the April discussion for the picked book, it will be on my channel, and I'll have all the details in the description down below. But definitely read the book with us and chat with us during the live show. It'll be super fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment down below, and also subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. And I will see you very shortly with a new video. Bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you and me.